Well, after the last election, Tony Abbott couldn't convince the independents to side with him and form government. Now he's alienated one of them even further. Rob Oakeshott's called off weekly meetings with the opposition leader, accusing his party of engaging in personal attacks instead of sharing policy ideas. From Canberra, here's our political correspondent, Tom Eagleton.
Rob Oakeshott's grown more than a beard over the summer parliamentary break. He's also grown tired of doing business with the opposition.
When you look someone in the eye and you want to do business with them, you don't go around the back and start stabbing away.
The protest stems from a recent speech Shadow Treasurer Joe Hockey made in Mr Oakeshott's electorate, undermining the independent among his own constituency.
You know, the three most disappointing things about the federal election with the independents, the most disappointing was Rob Oakeshott. It's like, come on, is this going to be a mature working relationship?
Not that that's deterring coalition MPs from more name-calling.
Rob faces a very real risk of being just seen as a Labor stooge.
We're all big boys and girls down here, and sometimes you've got to make a point very clear, and if someone takes that as a personal attack, that's regrettable.
Mr Oakeshott's leaving the door open for the meetings to resume if the opposition agrees to stop undermining him.
Look, it's a working relationship when it's working. He makes a great cup of tea and he's good conversation.
But Liberals say it's up to him to come back to the table.
An independent who only will deal with one side of Parliament, not the other side of Parliament, is no longer an independent.
It's a little unfair of the coalition to have a go at him for saying, look, you know, if you're not going to treat me at least with some respect and appropriately, you know, I'm not going to keep engaging with you.
Senator Wong was in a supportive mood, happy also to send some to her Liberal opponent over a heartfelt newspaper article he wrote about cultural diversity.
I want to congratulate George for speaking out. I think this is precisely the sort of bipartisanship multiculturalism should have.
I think it's very important that the Liberal Party restate emphatically, as Tony Abbott and others have done in recent days, its very strong commitment to a multicultural Australia.
Refugees are welcome, racists are not.
Senator Brandis's public stance follows division in the Liberal Party over how to deal with various aspects of the immigration issue.
We've seen reports out of Shadow Cabinet that Mr Morrison's suggesting that the Liberal Party should exploit concerns about Muslims, and we've also seen Senator Cory Bernardi actually come out and say Islam is the problem. Now, these are not comments consistent with what George said today.
And while the opposition grapples with the issue of immigration, a new survey released today reveals Australians too are divided on the issue. A University of Western Sydney survey of over a decade reveals that 49% of Australians consider themselves to be anti-Muslim and 12% identify as outright racists. Tom Eagleton, Lateline.